post that. Just a sec. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Sure. Okay. So this was my show reel, like, just a sec.
Mr. Jijesh, I hope you, while sharing the screen, you have put the sound as on.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
You have to just share it again once more.
Yeah.
On the bottom left, there would be an option of sharing the same while you share the screen.
Yeah. Share sound, right? Yeah. Just a sec. Can you see?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Cool. Yeah. Yep, that's my show reel. That I didn't update it since then, like because we have this habit of updating whenever we are searching for a job. So so I've not updated it since then. So yeah, like it's that's what the work you must have seen in those shots. It was from my work, mostly from my work at Prana, and you must have seen the amazing artwork on it. I'll just show it. Someone drew something on it.
Okay. If everyone is trying to use the annotate option, please remove it.
It's okay. It's okay. No worries. No worries. It's a bit slow.
Yeah, but you have pretty amazing work, right?
Ah, thank you. Thanks.
Uh,
Thanks a lot.
and there are a lot of questions coming on the chat, but we'll take it after you are finished, done with your talking.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, uh, so just a sec. So sorry. For some reason, RV is not working. So this is a viewer which we use professionally. It's called RV. It's made by Shotgun. If you know what Shotgun is, it is one of the most used pipeline software for for almost every animation and VFX studio. Yeah, it needs good RAM. Let's start with the questions. I can share my stuff simultaneously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question is from Vivek.
Yeah.
Vivek is asking, sir, can you please tell us what are the career opportunities as a lighting artist?
Career opportunities are like it's as a lighting artist, you uh, get to as a lighting artist. Obviously, you get to work in an animation studio. That's the first career opportunity you can have. But uh, like I said, like being a lighting artist, it helped me hone my skills at photography and even cinematography. Like I've done short films and I've made travel logs, and which I don't plan to upload it anywhere, but it's for my own personal use. But yeah, so it has honed my skills in that. So if you become a lighting artist, you get to learn uh, the ins and outs of uh, lighting. Basically, it helps you see the world in a different manner altogether. It helps you look at, like, even before this call, I was making sure this my image was crystal clear, the lights were proper. So that's how it impacts you. Even when you're clicking your family members, you in a way make sure the angle's right, the light, the how much the light impacts your your subjects, and how much. So things like that, like it in a way. So uh, based on that, it in a way can drive you. If you don't find a job as a lighting artist, you can easily get hired as a photographer, like if that's if that's even a choice.
Okay, I hope Vivek that answers your question. There
Uh,
is one. Yeah, yeah, sir.
to say connecting question, I mean, probably student wants to know which all different industry where they can work. For example, can they work in gaming industry as lighting artists? Can they
Yeah,
work in
yeah, yeah,
OTT?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can elaborate that those industries little. So
Industry, see, that's what, like, it doesn't matter how you start. Like, it doesn't, like, the if you start as a lighting artist uh, as a junior, it doesn't matter where you enter, which industry you enter, if it's gaming or VFX or even even like film, it doesn't matter. Once you start, if you have the understanding of the basic concepts of lighting, then it doesn't matter where you enter. So once you enter a certain like if you're interested in gaming, and if you like the way and if you want to enhance something in a certain industry, then you can actually get into that particular industry. So once you're starting, it doesn't matter where you get into. And it's also based, it also is important to important what your interest is. If it's VFX or CG, or like the movies like the Pixar or Disney make, if your interest is that, then you can go into such a studio. And people are looking for good lighting artists, and because these studios, they are the ones who mold you into a better lighter. So yeah, it doesn't matter, like, so that's what it, I think I have answered the question, I guess.
You mean to say that if you have the skill and the interest as a lighting artist,
Yeah.
your area of work will be very, very wide. You can work in
Yeah,
gaming,
actually, yeah,
film,
that's what
television.
yeah, because when I started, I didn't think I wanted to get into you know like I because I saw the opportunity everywhere, to be honest. I saw VFX as a VFX industry, because back then back in 2007, I don't think there were many VFX studios in India.
Yeah.
Very few, very few. So if I knew that VFX wasn't an option, I would have gotten to VFX, to be honest. But yeah, that's what it's just the time and place. Right now, in India, there are many VFX studios and animation studios, and so even gaming studios. So just see what your interest is, and based on that, you just can apply, and they would hire you as a junior artist. They do hire, because the pay is less, obviously, initially, but that in a way gives you an opportunity to learn a lot. On the job, you can learn a lot.
Okay. So we have one more question from Girdhar. He
Yeah.
is asking how to match CG and live action lighting. So suppose in a scene there are CG characters and live action is also shot. How do you match those lightings together?
We have references from the teams. We do have HDRs from the from the live action sets. So based on that, we get in those images. We use IES and SDRs and all those to in a way match the look. Like it's like, and most of the studios have their own set of in-house softwares and things which the pipeline team have developed pretty efficiently. So there are ways to do it as a lighter in a VFX industry. Your job is to make sure the angle's correct, because lighting is just a department, right? Lighting is just one of those department which like it comes after texturing. It comes after many other aspects, many other departments. So once you are in once your shot reaches lighting, most of your job is done. Your job is to just add the said light. If in the live action footage, if the light is from your left, you would want to start it with that, and then based on that, you can actually you know uh, make it look seamless. Like like most of the VFX studios, they do give you a good amount of time to match your shots, match your CG elements to live shots. So first, it's the HDR, so everything is provided to you by the the live action team. They give you most of the things, and then based on that, you just have to just have to match it. So that's in a way easy. That's what it's. Your job is as a lighting artist. Yeah, is kind of easy once you know what you're doing. So I think I've answered your question, and I don't know, maybe. Hello.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry,
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
my was on mute.
yeah.
So there's one question is, how do I become a game lighting artist, and what is the difference between game lighting for games and other movies? Is there any difference?
Yeah. See, the basic concept for everything is like over here. If I can show you an example, I actually took these examples. So this is a regular shot. This is a regular shot, which was over here. If you see, these characters don't have any shadows or textures on them. It's purely Lambert material, and it has keys, lights from all around. So this is a best example how much a lighting can impact a scene. So this certain like this similar principles are used everywhere, be it CG, gaming, or VFX. So that's what I said. If you're starting with something, it doesn't matter how which industry you get into, because the concepts are similar, concepts are same, and they use different softwares. Obviously, every studio has a different software. Sony uses Katana, we over here use Maya, Scanline uses Maya 3ds Max, V-Ray, and like, so every studio has a different set of tools and softwares they use. So but the concept is same everywhere. It doesn't matter, and it also depends on what the director, what the art director would want for that show, and for that what exactly he's looking for in that particular shot. So in gaming, obviously it's all they use Unreal and Unity and all those softwares over there. So over there, it's basically it's not lit push on a shot basis. It's lit on a sequence basis. They lit light a certain sequence, the entire sequence. For example, if a gameplay, if a character is moving from a certain area to another area, from A to B, so the lighter's job is to light up the entire area. And so that's what it's all, the concept is all the same. It's the softwares that differ. Like in gaming, Unreal and Unity and all these softwares are used, but in CG and VFX we use different softwares, but the concept are very similar, very same. So we use keys and like, for example, this shot over here, it's basically a bar scene, and you see there's a mood to it. There's these characters are underlit because the source of light is coming from here, from through the window, and lights in this area. So you can actually see how these characters are lit. Like the main source of light is near the bar. So this is the main, in a way, the main source. And for this character, it's coming from behind. So that's what it's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter which industry you're in. The concepts are same everywhere. The lighting won't change. Basically, the idea of lighting is to imitate the real world. Whatever you see outside, that's what we would want to implement into any form of your any form of entertainment, basically. Like if it's gaming or VFX or CG, doesn't matter. So the basically the idea of, if you noticed, many of our games and movies and series are I'm saying the animated ones are getting realistic. They're getting real as much as possible. They So it's basically they're just trying to imitate the real world. So when you do that, when in that process, you in a way are taking ideas from the real world, you're implementing it in here, and that's the whole thing. Like there's no basically there's no difference as such. That's the whole point. If you if you're starting now, you can excel in anything. Like if for me, if I move to a gaming studio, I would take some time to understand the whole thing. Like I would need some more time to get used to their softwares, their, like maybe a week or two, to get to understand the whole concept of how they see it, how they perceive it. And based on that, it's easier for a person who's starting than for a person who's already experienced in this thing. It's all technicality based, like, but aesthetically it's all the same.
Okay. I'm asking the connecting question only.
Hmm.
It has come from the student side. Is technology or like various plugins or software which we are using nowadays for rendering,
Hmm.
are they playing very important role in order to achieve a good output? And again, one more connecting question to it. Actually, I'm clubbing two questions.
Sure.
What are the important factors we should keep in mind in order to achieve a very good quality output? So two things. One is, what are those technologies and are they
Uh-huh.
playing very important role? And as a student, what all things we should keep in mind in order to achieve a good quality output? From,
Okay.
of course, lighting point of view.
Yeah. So when you if you're working on a certain if you're working on your own project, then obviously uh, learning the latest plugins, latest renderers like V-Ray, Arnold, Redshift, or all these does help you. Like it gives you a starting point in entering a studio. Like it because many of them many of if you ever thought of searching for a job opportunity, you might see that experience in V-Ray or experience in Arnold or experience in a certain renderer is expected. But even then, if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. So like updating oneself with the latest of everything, with the latest of these technologies, with these softwares, because every year, like V-Ray yesterday, we on a call we had with them, they told us a few things which in a way is going to help us. Like that's what it's ever changing. Every 6 months it changes. So updating yourself, being in this, being around such people, being around people from this industry, uh, people who are have similar interest, will help you. That'll enhance your eye, basically. Like because initially when I started, I realized that, okay, I used to be happy with as an image which I thought was like a render, for example, a short render, which I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, I've achieved this, like. But when I showed it to someone who's more experienced, that person said, oh, you're lacking this, you're lacking that. That's when I realized, oh my god, like I have so much to learn. That's what uh, uh, yeah, you have to, like, make sure I'm talking actually I'm not talking about the technical aspects as yet. I'm talking about the aesthetics. uh, Improve your aesthetics, like that's very important. Understand what you're going for. If you have any references around, if you have any, if your director or the art director has given you certain references, understand what the purpose of that thing is. What is the motive behind that? And then achieving that output, the quality is secondary. That can be achieved with with a number of rendering hours. Like, for example, if I raise my max subdivs in V-Ray, I can achieve that. I would obviously have to invest that much amount of render time, but I can achieve it. It depends on how what are you going for. Like, in past one of my studios, I had an experience with one of my art directors that he wanted this this dingy look. And one of my, like, very early renders, I showed it to him. He was so happy with that. He was he was really happy with that. So it, it depends on what the director or the art director, or even you, even if you're working on your project, and understanding what exactly your ultimate goal is, ultimate output should be, that will drive the quality to it, quality. So that's what it's very subjective. It's very subjective. But when you're in a studio, when you're working with a certain like, for example, a big company like Pixar, or uh, Sony, or all these companies, they have a certain uh, look to achieve. They have already established a certain look. So achieving that look can be done easily. Like, they have their softwares and everything, but the aesthetics is very important. If you don't have the aesthetics, if you don't understand what is good and bad, that that will push you down. That's what it is ultimately. That's what I see. That's what I'm saying. The technicalities can be learned. It can be achieved. Like, even now, if you spend an entire day looking at tutorials and looking at this and that, you can achieve that. You'll understand, okay, if I raise this value, raise that value, it's easy. But having the eye of a good lighting artist, a good photographer, is very important.
So two very important thing Jijesh is saying here. One is definitely you have to work on your aesthetic, and second, technology will keep evolving and new things will keep coming. You have to upgrade with the technology, but most important is just look at your aesthetic, try improving on aesthetic. So
Yep.
this is
Yep.
very important, students. Please keep this in mind.
Yeah.
Next question probably you'll be more happy to answer as a photographer also.
Yep.
Student is they are asking about the noise. At time when they render, they
Yep.
see a lot of noise in the final output. So
Mhm.
I mean, how to, I mean, what are the reason and how to control and rectify this thing?
See, even we see those issues. Like, we are no geniuses when noises come into play. So obviously, like I said, increasing our thresholds, like decreasing our thresholds, increasing our max subdivs, and letting the software do its job. And once you see, so for example, if you have a certain scene which see, I'll tell you my process, what I do. So if I get a shot, if I get a shot to light, I start with a pre-render, like, just to see, with the character, with the set and everything. I see what's happening over there, how much bounces I have, how much influence the set has on the character, how much of influence have the characters have on the set, shadow wise, bounces wise. So I see that, and based on that, if I see, in that shot, if I see any noise happening, any artifacts or anything, I try to uh, uh, engage into that. Like I try to understand what's happening over there. Once I clear that, then I go into separating the characters from the BG, lighting the character separately. So like, eh, you know, like for example, over here, this shot is lit together. Character and the set is lit together. I'll show you the final output over here. So this one over here, if you see, a character is lit from all the sides in a way. You know, from left and from the key, the rims. There's a very soft light which is coming from here. There's the characters, even when it's underlit, the characters are actually lit. You know, the lights are actually playing its role. If you have a certain character uh, in a scene, you should not be placing just one light to light that character. It should be a mix of, you know, multiple lights around. So having, you know, as much as possible, as many as lights possible, light up that character. Make sure nothing is black or dark, or it's then in comp, the comper can reduce it, can think of not using it, and avoiding it. It's let the comper do his job. So as a lighter, your job is to give him clean renders, making sure it's the characters are lit as per the scene. And like I said, it also depends on the budget of a particular show. If you say that and also in Nuke we have denoisers, and even Arnold has a denoiser, even Vire has denoiser. So there are ways to tackle those. But yeah, using denoiser, you lose base, very minute textures and all those things. But yeah, for example, if it's a wide shot, denoiser will helps a lot. But if it's a close up, uh, the uh, the studios are okay to render, invest that much amount of time in rendering that shot with highest number of samples. And so that's what, for your personal project, obviously you make sure uh, uh, there's that's what uh, it's it's all the samples, man. Like it's all if increase and decrease the noises, you have to increase samples. It's all the numbers then. So if you don't, if you cannot, like for example, if this character was lit more, like if you see in certain see over here, if you see, there are noises, this key. But when it's rendered finally, I'll show you that image. So this over here, this looks clean, right? It doesn't look grainy or anything. It's all comped together. After comping, everything comes into play. Like these grains are then reduced by in comp, in there are denoise. That's what I said. There are tools that can help you, so you don't have to worry about noises as yet. So you have to it's your own machine. You have to spend more time rendering. That's it.
Okay, we have one more question is, uh, see, in a 3D department, there are two departments. So the student wants to know whether they are the same or different. Like a look development artist or a 3D lighting artist, are they the same or are they both different?
It depends on a studio. Every studio I guess it's a look dev department basically is a department where it comes after texturing, shading. The look dev department are the ones who enhance the characters, making sure the characters are the shaders and the shaders on them, the character have impact from the light rig. So, if it doesn't, then enhancing those shaders, making it, because the texturing artists, they shade it, they texture it, but then for it to work in lighting, you need, that's how look dev was created. They wanted a department where, uh, like the name says, look development, like that's a department where the look is developed. So in certain studios, look dev department doesn't exist. But VFX industry, they prefer that. That's where the shaders are enhanced, and the look is basically made sure it works in lighting. So yeah, they for DNEG, for example, DNEG has two departments, look dev and lighting. So look dev artist, basically they take the asset from texturing, then it is enhanced in look dev, and then passed on to lighting. So yeah, they're two different departments basically. They're not the same. But yeah, so in some studios they go hand in hand, like they're they're in one huge lighting department, but there are few artists who just do look dev for these lighting artists. So there are such cases, but there are also studios where you're expected to be a lighter and a look dev artist simultaneously. So it's all very subjective. It depends on the studio which you're working for. But yeah, most importantly, I would say that having knowledge in every department helps. And just don't be focused on just lighting. Make sure you understand every other department. Even texturing and shading should be your second forte. Like if you lose your job as a lighter, make sure you're so good at shading and texturing that you find job as a texturing artist. You should be that good. So and that in a way helps you. That in a way drives your uh, uh, like drives your understanding towards towards this industry to move forward in a way. So having knowledge of every department is really necessary. Like there are cases where I've had this instance where a certain character was not animated properly or something, and we were facing very huge deadline, and we had to somehow get it out the next day. So I had to sit and key animate it. So you have to have that skill with you. You have to have that understanding. So like I said, it is that, it is completely that. You have to have skills of lighting and look dev and everything. So it should not scare you basically.
Okay. So again, students who are listening out here, again, very, very good point said by sir, is that you have to be multi-skilled and
Yeah.
you need to have knowledge of various departments so that you
Stop
have.
calling me sir, man. Like
Okay. Okay. Mr. Jijesh would call you. So yeah. So we'll take an offbeat question right now, a
yeah,
different one from something with technical. Is
yeah,
what is the difference you find working in India and abroad? That is one. I'll club two questions together.
yeah.
That is the first thing. What is the difference you find working in India and abroad? And second is if somebody wants to say aim for jobs abroad, what
Mhm.
would be the path he should take?
uh Work wise, like it's the work culture. Most importantly, it's the work culture in India. In Indian studios, apart from few, y- uh, the work culture isn't that good. Like it's you're expected to work multiple hours without any extra pay. But I'm not saying that you don't work extra hours in studios abroad, but they pay you extra. They pay you for any number of hours you invest. So that is a huge difference. And also the work culture. Like Prana was one of my best experiences as a lighter in India. I like as an artist, I was so happy that my work was appreciated. You know, so because Prana was a studio where it had that Western influence on it. The clients, the founders of Prana were from LA, so it had that influence on him in that studio. So yeah, the work culture is a huge difference. And your second question, finding a job is abroad is basically, I would say, uh, having a good experience in India, working with good studios in India, should you should be able to find a job abroad. I don't see an issue in that. And I've had messages on LinkedIn and uh, you know from other social media where people ask me if I can get a job at Brown Bag or any other studios I was working with. During this pandemic, it's really difficult for now because the studios and the countries have stopped giving out work permits, and such issues are there. But yeah, it's things like it's basically if you're you know if you're skilled enough, if you have good skills, if you know what you're doing, and if your personal work is so good that uh, uh, these studios would look for you. Be Keep uploading stuffs onto LinkedIn, onto like Behance, and all these software, all these social media for art, for us. So you know it in a way, because the studios, they have recruiters, right? And if your work reaches the recruiters, even if your experience is not that high, like even if you're a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, if you've just been in this industry for that many years, these recruiters would just look at your work, you know. So if your work is appealing, if it's that is something that they're going for, if that it matches their sensibility, it's easy. Like I've had a friend recently who just had a 3-year experience, I guess. Yeah, so he directly got hired at a studio in Vancouver. So that's what, if your work is that good, if you know what you're doing, if you're connected to people, through forums, and through you're talking about this and that. Like, you have to invest in yourself in this. It's not easy. That's what I mean. Like, you have to develop your skill to that extent, because every now and then a person who's experienced, there are people who are experienced but they don't find job abroad because if a studio has to hire you, they have to, like for Canada, for example, they have to do this document called LMIA. So LMIA, what LMIA does is it's a document from the government. The studio has to tell the government that, okay, we need this guy who's from this country. We don't have that skill in this country, so we need that thing. So that's when the government gives the studio the LMIA, and based on that LMIA, that's when you're hired. So if your skill is something the studio is going for, if the then that's how it happens. So I think that's what it's all your skill more than your experience.
Very important thing Jijesh again has given to all the students, that work on your skill, make your showreel so good that
Yeah.
studio would like to hire you. And for
Yeah.
that, start uploading your work in Behance and
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Most of you, I'm very sure, may not be having your account in LinkedIn, so make your account in LinkedIn also.
Yeah.
So yeah, very practical and very to the point input is coming from Mr. Jijesh, and simultaneously a lot of questions are also coming. One question has come from the student. He is saying, is having no problem in daylight kind of setup,
Mhm.
especially for product and other thing. But when it comes to evening light or night light setup,
Mhm.
he is like he becomes a little cold feet. He is not understanding what to do, and his
Mhm.
question is what all precaution he should take when he's setting up daylight, evening light, night light, especially indoor
Mhm.
and outdoor both. So both the things, how both the things will differ. Of course, it
Okay.
depends on the setup of a particular scene and situation. But
Yeah.
few generic thing with respect to lighting, what he should keep in mind
See, this
for
is
indoor night
yeah,
and
yeah.
outdoor night.
So yeah, this is the best example of how a shot should be. Like if you see, it's very basic. It doesn't have much going on here. We are playing here with light and shadow, light and shadow, light and shadow, light and shadow. So it's all that. It's you know this in a way creates interest in that character in the shot. For example, if you see the shot, I'll just show you. This is a night setup. Uh, so this one over here. So if you see the character, there's you directly look at this female character. Your eye directly goes to her because the you know the key hits her in this angle, so that as a viewer you are looking directly at her. The angle of interest is right directed at her. So that's how it is designed. And make sure whenever you're lighting your shot, there's always this angle of interest. Like you would want to uh, light basically the motive of light is the objective of lighting is to direct your viewer's eye to that to that object or to that character, whoever you want to enhance. Like if you in this story in this thing, I'm sure this person is the one who's talking, and with this lighting, in a way you're expecting this is the person who's talking. So and your camera is focused on her. So that's how it should be. Like your interest, your lighting should have both lights and shadows. Like it should both have for example over here, just a sec. Yeah, this one. So it should draw your audience's interest. If That's how it should, like it's it's pretty simple. Like that's what it's so I'm so habituated to lighting a shot in this manner. I don't know the wrong way now. You know, so I would say that yeah, lighting lighting in it's it's yeah it's basically just draw your uh, like your eye, the audience's eye to your character. That's how it should be. That's how it should be lit. Yeah.
This is the statement, Jijesh, that I don't know the wrong way now, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that has come with lots of practice, dedication, and
Yeah. Yeah.
concentration. So
Yeah.
students, you need to do that, and you should also be able to tell that I don't know the wrong way now. So that is very important.
Yeah.
One like more thing. I mean this kind of input, it is coming from the director, or like it is like a lighting artist, his or her own visualization
No,
and
it's always the light, the director, the art director. They're the ones to set the look of the show.
yeah, okay,
They're the ones who tell you what exactly we're going for. And for example, if a certain shot is shot in when it's dusk, or oh, you know what to do, right? You know where to place the light so that it starts looking dusk. You'll have long shadows. You'll have very the light hits the characters on their face, like in this angle. So that in a way gives you the opportunity to, and always, like we have this uh, we always go for uh, this, for example, over here, if you see, it all depends on what the shot demands. For example, in this shot, the key is from, key is from behind. Key is from behind. So how do you show this character lit? So it's, the only option we have is to light the character from the front. And like, this is, it isn't an ideal way to light it, but this is the right way, because obviously the light coming from behind him, coming uh, uh, from those curtains actually are hitting somewhere in the background, right? And that's what is reflecting on him. That's what is bouncing on him. So that becomes the key. And rest everything is to, to make sure he doesn't go dark, he doesn't. And the rim is basically to just separate the character from the background. It's just that, like, it's as simple as that. So uh, I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, but we got the basic. I mean,
Yeah, you got the
this is the
gist of it.
most basic
Yeah,
3-point light system. I believe
yeah,
every
yeah.
student must have read this.
but
If
but
not,
yeah,
they have to.
but that's what it, see, once you start with 3-point lighting, it's, you start with that, like, you start with that. But based on a shot, for example, if this is key and this is fill, there's this dark area, it also depends on what the director, what the art director wants in that shot.
So,
If like, if you cannot go go into a shot, lighting a shot starting with 3-point lighting, and making, you have to see what is actually happening in that set, what the actual what the set demands, what that time of day demands the character to behave the ultimate goal is to make the character and the set in a way blend with each other. They have to, seamlessly talk to each other, if you can use that word. That's what it has to, like, for example, if this shot, if because I've worked with a studio where even when the key light was from behind, everyone could see that the set light in the set, the key light was from behind. The art director would expect us to light the character from here, the key from here. That's not the right way. Like, that in a way disconnects the character from the set, you know. So the right way to light the shot is this way. Like, it has to, the key from the set has to have an impact on the character, you know. So this over here, because this tendency of uh, expecting the key from, from this angle is not right. Because I've had this experience of, being in a studio with our directors expecting us to do that for every shot, having that 3/4 triangle over here. We call it Rembrandt
right.
lighting. Yeah, so we have, key from here, fill from here, rim from behind. No, it doesn't work for everything. So you should start with that. You should obviously should start with that, so that this, like, for example, I'll just show you. Yeah, so this guy, he's Rembrandt. So he's one of the first painters, who it's his own portrait. So we call him the first selfie guy. He
Oh,
was, so he's the one who invented the Rembrandt lighting. His name is Rembrandt. So in this, if you see, the key hits him in this manner. You have this nice triangle over here, and every I'm sure, like, whoever's starting now, whoever's going to a studio would be expected to do this, have this 3/4. We call, like, in few studios it's called a 3/4 lighting. A few studios they call it Rembrandt lighting. So expecting this, that's how we start. Like, but don't just rely on that. Just I'll show you this is a movie we worked on. So if you see this, it's called Bilal. I worked on it when I was in Dubai. at Barajan Studio. So if you see the key for this character is not 3/4. It's based on the key on the set. So it's, you know, it's either like there's this subtle rim, and there's a nice fill from below. You know, that's how it's lit. So this is one of those shows I worked on where the lighting was, you know, on point. We like, this is one of my shots where the main source of light is a candle. So if you see this shot doesn't have any rim, because there's no justification for a rim here, because there's no external source over here. So that's what it all depends on what the director demands, because the ideal approach is always to have key from here, fill from here, and rim from behind, right opposite to the key. So that's how every show starts. But when we progress, it then they expect us to match it to the set. Yeah.
That's very interesting and very important for all the students. Now, one connecting question again here. Um, uh, every student or amateur, when they do their first project, they are being told by teacher or director that lit the environment, lit the subject, and
Yeah.
in order to do that, they like use a lot of lights everywhere, and at time they feel their scene becomes very heavy, their files
It
become
does.
very
Yeah.
heavy.
It does. Yeah.
Any input suggestion over here?
Yeah. See, like what you should do is add these lights wherever it's necessary, and then you know, subtract these lights when you know, like so for example, if you're starting a shot, if you uh, so every studio works differently. I'm talking about the ones I've worked with. So we light shots based on the set, the characters. These sets are rendered separately, the characters are rendered separately, and then they are put um, into Nuke, adding cut mattes and shadows and the contact shadows and everything. These are other passes we render together. So once you're lighting your shot, you make sure you light it together, you know, character and the set together. And once you achieve that look, you know, make sure you start deleting lights which you think,
Okay.
you know, which you think you can get away with. You know, start deleting lights one by one. Like make sure, you know, you turn it a certain degree. You have like the best way to do lighting would be use ambient occlusion, have multiply it with you know, a um diffuse of that character. Just a second.
Okay, so this is, I think, very important for students again. Delete the lights. If I mean,
Yeah.
once you are done, then start deleting the light as the process progresses,
Yeah.
so you can, you know, work little more comfortably. So this is very
Yeah, like
like, you know, interesting feedback and very interesting suggestion.
it's see, it's basically you know, if your shot demands these characters to be lit, you know, completely from all your four sides, you know, there are ways to achieve it. Just turning turning this key a certain degree. For example, if it's a shot in an interior, like of a bar, for example, in this case a bar. So over here, just show you. So this setup has almost 12 lights, I guess. So this setup has 12 lights. So that's what I'm saying. for this setup, it is enough. These 12 lights were enough. I'm sure many would add certain light from here. Many would add certain light from here, so that, you know, so it looks good. The characters look good, but the ultimate goal is not that, right? Ultimate goal is to sell this shot. Ultimate goal is to, so that the audience is connected to the shot. So understand, that's what aesthetics plays a huge role here. And like, you know, start with, you know, minimal, then add a certain thing. And if you think look at your image, if you think, okay, you can get away with it, start deleting it. You know, that's how you do it. You have to, like, the initial process is a bit hard, but yeah, it's necessary. It's necessary to understand what is good and what is not. So, like, I'll tell you one thing. Like, after I got into this lighting, I started reading a lot about old painters. Like this, there are many painters, many you know, sculptors, and, you know, all those, you know, old paintings. You can look at those, understand what they were going for. That in a way helps you improve your aesthetics. So once you achieve that, it helps you. Like, a bar scene should not have more lights, you know. A bedroom scene should not have uh, um, like, it should be just two lights coming from the window. There should be a lamp. There should be, so then basically what you do is then you use extra lights to enhance those lights, you know, to create a bounce. And GIs these days they do a good job. You know, if you improve your GI, they do a good job. Then take your renders to comp, then add up these layers, because lighting is not lighting, we don't do lighting, you know, just render these images and send to the editor. It's not like that. We send it to the comper, or in my case, I do the comping over here. So we comp it together. We comp it, you know, comp these shots together. And that's what it's very collaborative. Lighting and comp should go hand in hand. It should, you know, whatever is, you cannot achieve in lighting, and it takes time in lighting, you can do it in comp. There are ways to do it in comp. So make sure you use both the skills.
Okay, I that's a very nice explanation to all the light types we should use.
Yeah.
There is one more question. I think we'll take few more questions. We'll take a little of your more time.
No
So
worries, no worries.
yeah. So what is your most challenging project till date?
For me, it's this one, the one I was showing the other, yeah, just a while back. Bilal, that was back in Dubai, Marajon Studios. They were a new studio. They wanted to do something very realistic. They had this concept of so if you see, it's very you know, I'm not sure, like, I don't see anything this real apart from Pixar, or you know, if you see the bounces, the triple S on the shaders, these renders have taken time. We've put good amount of time in rendering these shots, because the ultimate goal was to make it look as real as possible to the real world. You know, the textures, the shaders on the ground, the shadows, the colors in the shadows, and all these were, very much scrutinized for every shot. We had this an amazing art director on the show, Oliver. So he made sure, you know, every, like, for example, even here, yeah, if you see, it's lit in a way you would light a film, you know. If you see, it's very realistic. Like, it's very, the bounces are actual bounces from this light. You know, there are shards of light. There are, they've used, like over here, again, it's a candlelight, but over here they have made sure, uh, it's not dark, it's not underlit. We have used a moon as a secondary key. So that's what this project was quite challenging for us, because the goal was to achieve a certain look. Light, like if you see the scene, how it starts, how the character is introduced into the scene. That's very important to understand what exactly the motive of the director was, how you would want to see this character. That's how uh, that's very important. So yeah, this one was one of the best, because uh, we had to uh, we had to spend a lot of time. We had to unlearn a few things to get this output. We had to yeah, that's what took a lot of time, and yeah, ultimately we were very happy with this output. Yeah.
So
And
in,
yes sir, go ahead sir.
so in this scene, I am little curious. In this scene, you have a characters, you have a props, you have environment, background. So
Yep.
any like separate arrangement you made, or you lit up both the things separately, or
Yeah,
you
see,
did
it is always lit separately. The sets and the characters are always lit separately. If the character is handling a prop in his hand, like if he's using that prop, then that prop is rendered with the character. But otherwise, it's always a prop would be rendered with the set. And then in comp, we combine these two. But it's not the case with many studios like Pixar or Sony. They light characters and set together. They have a certain they have that pipeline. They have that pipeline over there. But studios like Prana, Barajon, and even Brownback for that matter, we do that. Like we render the characters and the sets separately, and then comp it together in. So, but we do have, like for example, if the set has the key from this direction, we make sure that uh, those two key matches. We at times even use the same light rig from the set for the character, and there are cases where like uh, the characters don't actually look as good. It doesn't look as good as it should be with the satellite. So we have to enhance it a bit more. We have to add a certain light so that it uh, someone yeah so a certain light so that it enhance, like you like ultimately the idea is to draw your attention to the character. So adding an extra light to match that aesthetics is that's what we did over here. Like in this case, if you see, the key hits it over here, but okay.
someone who someone is
I think somebody is
Yep, exactly that. Yeah. Can I go now? Yep.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
yeah, so this key. So I remember while doing the shot, this key was hitting him just till here. So I had to add another key just so that it covers his face, so that it has that interest. It's that's what it once you start lighting that shot, that's when you understand what it misses, what is necessary. So you can it's all that, like it's all being in that zone. What if you, for example, if a set is lit properly, if you place a character in that, uh, and for example, like if for example if that that set key light would have worked if the key was, you know, the camera angle was a bit far, like it was if it was a wide angle. But in cases of you know, more close up, you would want to add you know, turn the key a bit so that it in a way uh, enhances his face, so that his dialogues are delivered properly. His, you know, there's interest in that shot. So yeah, that's how it is. I think I've answered your question, I guess.
Oh, that's very interesting. Now, two very relevant question I would like to ask you. One is why, I mean, every student, of course, they have to prepare a show reel
Yeah.
in order to qualify for the interview. So,
Mhm.
what are your suggestion? What all things they must include if
Mhm.
they want to prepare a show reel for the job of a lighting artist? So, what are your suggestion? What all things they
Yeah.
should include?
Uh, Most importantly, if you're starting, you should have uh, your show reel actually should show your understanding of uh, lighting. Like for example, if a set, uh, like always make sure your create a shot if possible. Like take help from your uh, animation friends who are good at animation. And so that's what I remember I did back then. I took help from one of my friends who was good at animation. I asked him to create a shot for me. He gave me that. And that's and I lit that shot. It was a day shot. I don't, it was way back, so it was a day shot or something. And it was almost a sunset thing going on. So I had that key from outside. So what I did was, it was not that great. Obviously, when I look back at those renders, it was just shitty. So a what you would want to do is have a shot lit properly, and then have a short breakdown. You know what you've done in that, how you've broken down the characters, the sets, other passes, how you've added in comp. And you know, just explain it in a manner that the viewer is interested. Like these studios, they get like every day, if they put out uh, uh, a job opportunity, they get around 2000 to 3000 emails every day. So for them to look at your work, it has to be very interesting. So I would say, because what people do is they just light up a set. They, you know, it's either I see, I get messages from people on LinkedIn. I see a set lit, you know, there's this a lamp, there's a bulb or something, and that's how the set is lit. But that doesn't you know, tell you how you would be able to work on a shot, right? So take help from your animation friends, create a shot, make those characters move, and then have a short breakdown what you exactly have done in that, how you've used lights, how you've made the character you know, pop out from the set. How are you actually directing viewers eye to that character, what exactly you've done. So that's very necessary.
And the last question is, there are like so many questions, but one last question I'm taking: how things has been changed during the pandemic, how the working method is changed, and what new methods students should adopt to fit into this kind of working environment which has changed due to pandemic.
Yeah, I've been working from home since March.
Okay.
Since March 2020 actually.
Mhm.
So I completed an entire movie being at home. Like
Oh.
we completed this movie called Angela's Christmas Wish. It's on Netflix, so you can actually take a look if you guys interested. So I think I have it here. Let me just check. Yeah, this one. So yeah, so this uh, while working on this, obviously, initially we were like, oh, how are we supposed to do like it? It's you have to spend so many hours sitting at at your home desk, making. Just a sec. I think I'll have to. Yeah, sitting here diligently every day. That was initially that was a huge task because when you're at home, you're at your own comfort, right? But you have tasks to complete. But then in a week's time, I got used to it because we were working on that show, and it demanded a certain number of hours for us to complete. But yeah, like I said again, over here in studios abroad, they consider your time and effort even when you're working from home. So right at 5:30, no one's available. Like everyone's expected to be off their team's chat, or off their work desks. So so that so in a way, like now when I think of going back to the studio, I have nightmares, man. I cannot even think of sitting at a desk. It's that, like it's that's how it is. So yeah, initially it was a bit troublesome, like, but then I got used to it. And yeah, but you have to be disciplined. You cannot just expect them to not know. But over here, that no one checks. Like they expect even they know that you're at your home. You have your personal space. You have your family around, so they don't expect you to be on calls or on meetings or anything. Like if you're available, well and good, but they're not like, oh, why weren't you there? Or they respect that. So that's how it is over here. But back in India, I've heard stories where so let's not talk about that, man. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's not that great. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's easy. Like it's become quite easy, but yeah. But yeah, once I think of going back to the studio, it's gonna be difficult. Yeah, so this is the show we worked on. It's on Netflix if you guys want to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
We'd never get
it's
Daffy
all
for Christmas.
it's very Irish, to be honest. There's this place called Limerick, and it was done there. Like it's based there. This character Angela is based on Frank McCourt. He's the author of that book, Angela's Ashes. It's also made into a Hollywood movie, so it's based on that. So it's very Irish. The accent is very Irish. So you won't believe, like I was so I was one of the I was the lead writer of this, and we have our team back in Bali, Indonesia. So I did the master shots, and they did the child shots. How you define master and parents is you take a wide angle shot, for example, in this one. So take a wide angle shot which encompasses almost every aspect of lighting, and then use that master light rig for all the small shots like close-ups and uh, like this for example, this one, it's the same light rig, but obviously based on the shot, we did have to add a certain light for this character. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so on. Like it's just that, like once you start doing it, for example, this is one of the master shots. So then the child shots are usually just this much, or just this much, or it's like that. Yeah, so this is one of those dusk shots where
Mm.
it's all dusky, and yeah, we have to cheat a lot, like to achieve
Yeah.
a certain look. It's not that's how, like, for example, if the key is actually in reality, the key is right behind the ship, is right behind the ship, but for us to achieve that look is this angle of interest, because we wanted to show that ship moving in lighting itself. So we if you see, I'll just play this. So what I did over here is actually I placed a card acting as the ship. So when I moved that card, the light started increasing on Angela's face.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So in a way, in this shot, you actually see that the boat is actually moving, and it's all done in Arnold. It was one of our projects with Arnold.
Okay.
Like over here in this shot where I can tell you how many lights I've used for there's this shot where they move. Okay, for example, this one, I'll just display. So over here, what I've done is obviously, like you see, there are two lights. I have put one light right above here, and there are street lights. There are actual street lights. If you can see in the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have actually placed lights over there. So when the characters are, this cart is animated, right? So when it reaches that street light, it has an impact on the characters. You'll see it's all real. Like it's all. We wanted to make sure it looked real. We didn't expect we didn't want to do it in comp, or if you see this impact. So you'll see that the light on this character increases when they approach the street light. So such things, man. Like it just and the render times on this was like not much. It rendered it for the entire shot. It rendered at 45 minutes or something, 40 or 50 minutes or something. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jijesh, there is a personal question to you from one student. Even I have observed from last almost 1.5 hours, you are a very calm person. The question is to you, how you are keeping your calm, and how you are managing your anger and frustration, because at time things are not at your side and things are not happening the way you want, especially on technical front. So how
Yeah.
you do your anger management? That is the question.
I've I don't know, man. I'm born with that. I'm yeah. Like I'm a subtle, calm guy. So yeah, like I obviously everyone gets frustrated if a certain thing doesn't work. But yeah, I have my own ways to tackle those things. I have good uh, good friends and family around, so I talk to them, and it's I see I don't know how to display anger if or frustration. Like yeah, I have my own ways, man. Like it's just
That's wonderful. That's great, and that's fantastic and powerhouse information we got from your side.
no worries, man,
Sumit,
no worries.
I believe you agree with me.
Yes, absolutely. And it is almost it's 2 hours we are talking. So it
Oh
didn't
yeah,
basically the time has gone. So
yeah,
again, as I said, it's really great to for you to definitely talk to our students and basically give them insights. There's a lot of things which the students they don't know about the industry, and
mhm,
basically once they find the right path, maybe they also can be become better professionals.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's ultimately right guidance can make them good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, students can actually contact me on LinkedIn. We can actually have a discussion. I can help them with whatever I can. Please don't ask me if I can find a job, but
Yeah, definitely. That'd be good. Yeah.
I can help them in honing their skills or looking at their work. I can do that.
Okay. Okay. So, before we end, two important people again, whom I would like to thank you. One is Ranjit Madam and Devashi Madam. So, first, Ranjit Madam, if we can hear a few words from you, you basically helped in arranging this meet with Mr. Jijesh. So, Ranjit Madam, if you can put your camera mic on and can say a few words.
Ranjit ma'am, you are there?
I think
There's some network issue, I
some
think.
network issue. Devashi Ma'am, if you are here in the session, if we can hear
Yeah, yeah,
you.
she's there.
I am there. I'm there.
Okay. 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 Uh, uh, Okay, Devashi ma'am, I can't find you in the list, but if you can
She's there.
speak,
She's there. Sumit sir, she's there.
uh, yeah, just a second. We can just, we can't, I can't see her. With what name she is there?
Arena Animation, the same name I've logged in as.
Okay. Just a second. I'll add you to the spotlight. Yeah. So Devashi ma'am is the center director of Arena Animation Andheri, and she would like to say a few
Hey,
words.
hello. Hey.
Hi. Hi, Jitesh. It was a very, last 120 minutes with the students. Listening to all your entire experience and all insights what you have shared. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be very useful to them. And, it's very nice to have someone from the industry talking to the students and, giving them the insights and explaining them. I think, the last question, what I was hearing, Mr. Rajiv discussing with you regarding the, how your patience and how calm you have been in the last 120 minutes, explaining this concept has been very well done because, nowadays kids get very boggled down with even middle of, Zata
Yeah.
pucha jata, they
Yeah.
get like kind of,
True.
boggled down.
True.
So I think, it's a privilege to have you, and I'm glad that there were so many queries put up by the students, and most
Mm.
of all of them you answered them patiently. So
Yeah.
thank you
It's
so
all
much.
it's
And
actually the interest I have in this, like in this field. It's like I
correct,
said, it's become my passion. Like it's so that's what
correct, correct.
I would want to help everyone and each and everyone, like if possible.
I'm yes, and I'm
Yeah.
sure I hope all the students are listening to him. He has asked you to give his work in case you want the feedback from him, and this is your best opportunity. So do that, and get your feedback, get your corrections done, and just be there. Thank you so much for your time. I think you
No
spent a
worries.
good quality time with us. Thank you so much again.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
It's all my pleasure.
Yeah. So before we end, we would like to have a nice picture with you. So everybody who can on the cameras can please
Sure.
put on the cameras. I'll put on the gallery view. So cameras abhi on kar sakte hain everyone. And so we'll have a nice and memorable picture with you. After this picture, I would request the staff to move into the breakout room for just 3 more minutes so that we can in person
Sure,
thank
yeah,
Mr. Jijesh. So I will
For
send
sure.
out the breakout room invitation. Just tap on the invitation, tap kar dijiyega, and then they can come in a separate room.
Sure.
So yeah, so happy, lovely faces, and yeah, faculties can help to click a picture. So the count of say 5,
Actually, my wife also had joined.
4, 3, 2, 1. What's her name? What's her name? We can take her into the breakout room.
She's Anuja Desai. She works with Scanline VFX. She's in Vancouver. Oh, yeah, there she is.
Oh, okay. Nice to see you, Anuja, and I'll just send you a breakout room. So we'll have a small chat. Okay, and yeah, thank you, everyone. I hope the picture is taken, and we'll send Mr. Jijesh also, and to all the staff, I am sending out a breakout invitation, and just join. Okay, I think there is an invitation to all the staff.
Yeah.
So please join this room, and yeah, if the staff can just hit on the join room. Students can leave the session, and thank you so much, students, for being here. Okay.